All right, so this one's interesting. I want to plan out what we're going to be doing in 2025. Let's see. Got a couple things going here. What we want to do is plan out. I really want to plan out what we're going to be doing in 2025. 2024, I think, was a good year. 2024 was a good year. It always sounds funny. How old am I? 2024 was a good year. Yeah, no, it was. But we need to plan out 2025. So let's look at what games are coming out this year. What technology, what gaming keyboards. I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen in 2024. I mean 2025. And where should we invest our time? Obviously we have TFD. We have a couple things going on, but we want to take a look at this. So we have a couple things already up, prompted. The first one is going to be the 2025. Let me move this over a bit. The first one's going to be the 2025, the early 2025. Borderlands 4, Monster Hunter, Witcher 4 are some of the games. Yeah, we'll look at those too. So I wanted to take this stream. First of all, it's the first stream of 2025. Welcome. Happy New Year for everyone that's joining. And Poppy, we're going to be looking at, for this one, I wanted to take some time to just kind of, I didn't want to play a game right now because I don't know if you guys were on the Discord, but I actually just swapped out my GPU. So I was having a lot of issues with getting it set up, getting the drivers up, and there was just a lot of things going on with that. So I don't know the stability of it just yet. So I wanted to just do like a just chatting, and then kind of use this time to look at some of the games that are coming up. But yeah, I think Borderlands 4. I've never played. Let me look that one up. I've never played any Borderlands game. What style of game is that? Poppy, what style of game is Borderlands 4? How's my audio, by the way? Like I said, I'm going to be asking some of these questions because there's a lot of, I've run into a lot of issues with the new GPU that I installed. So let's look for a trailer. First, is this official first look? This from Borderlands. Okay, so this is from Borderlands. And let me know, can y'all hear the sound? Is everyone able to hear the sound on here? So this is Borderlands. Borderlands 4. $2K Games presents. Is this kind of like Mad Max? Like Mad Max-ish? It's a looter shooter? Is this a net new game? Do you have to have experience with Borderlands like 1, 2, 3 in order for you to be able to jump into this? Is it like a continuance, or is it just like, no, this is a new game, you can just kind of rock out? Because there's been a lot of people that have been bringing up Borderlands 4, so I'd be open to it. The big bad, crushed face. This is giving Mad Max. Was the movie any good? I heard that there was a movie for this. So you get so you get different champions. Yeah. So all right. So it's a looter shooter. I like the way the drops look. He's got a little hand. My strong hand. Break free. Are you able to hear the sound, by the way? It's a full immersion. You have to play from... Wait, some people just do whatever. If you want the full immersion, I think you have to play from start to finish. So you mean you have to... When you say play from start to finish, you have to play from Borderlands 1 all the way through, is what you're saying. If you wanted the full experience, you have to play from Borderlands 1 all the way through. Is that kind of what you're getting at? Yeah. Ooh, that's tough. Okay, so let's take a step back. So we have the IGN biggest games of 2025, and then we have the top 10 games from GameRanks that are coming out in the beginning of 2025. I'm thinking let's do the beginning of 2025, and then we'll look at the IGN total 2025 top 10 games. Or it doesn't even say top 10. It says the biggest games coming from prequel to 3. You can skip Wonderlands. Okay, so it's Wonderlands and then Borderlands 1, 2, and 3. Yikes. There's no way I'll be able to play all of those. Is it story based or is it like end game based? Hey, what up, Slim Reaper? Yeah, we're still at it. This is our first stream of 2025. We just installed a new GPU, so we're taking it light. Let me know if how the audio, the video, how the stream quality looks, and all of that fun stuff, y'all. Because I'm trying to make sure that everything's looking good. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands isn't the first Borderlands. Okay. All right, so let's look at this. We're gonna look at GameRanks. So let's solve this right now. Borderlands Saga. What is it? The Borderlands Saga? Is that what you would search? That's what I'm searching. The Borderlands series. Okay, how to play every Borderlands game in chronological order. Here it is. Let's look from IGN. You got to look for verified sources, y'all. Yeah, Chris just said skip that one. Okay, so chronologically, you have Borderlands, then the Borderlands prequel, then Borderlands 2, Tales from the Borderlands, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Okay, so this is what Chris was talking about. Chris said just skip this one, basically. So let's get this out of here. Sorry about that, y'all. So you would go Borderlands. If you wanted to do Borderlands all together, you'd do Borderlands prequel, Borderlands 2, what about Tales from Borderlands? So for those of you that have played this game, have you played all of these? Have you played all of them? What's our because there's Tales from Borderlands. Chris and Poppy are both yeah, you can skip Wonderlands. Not yet. Tales has a lot of story lore. So basically, if you're bought in, this feels like something that you would play if you're if I wanted to transition from TFD and I was like, yo, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to play TFD anymore. Then you would jump into this entire realm. Right? Because that's the whole reason why I started playing TFD, because I was like, yo, I don't know if I can continue to play Destiny. And Destiny became a game that I used to play, but not anymore. Chris played, all right, so Chris, you played all of them. How much, it sounds like there's a huge investment if you want to jump into this. What would I be losing? Oh, some of it can be played. Oh, so this is a single player, is what you're saying. I don't know anything, by the way. I don't know anything about this game aside from hearing stuff. So it's you're investing a lot of time and you got to play by yourself. So the game release order is right here. So it's Borderlands, Borderlands Legends, Borderlands 2, the prequel, Tales from Borderlands, Borderlands 3, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, new Tales from Borderlands, and then Borderlands Vault Hunter Pinball, and then obviously you'll have Borderlands 4 that's coming out in 2025. In the movie, did anyone watch the movie? How was the movie? You can play with up to 3 other people. Okay, so it's co-op. You can play all of them co-op. So it's co-op. It's not PvP or anything like that. Okay, we'll put this on the list. It is, yeah. We'll put this on the list. Let's see. All right, so let's just jump back. The top 10 games that are coming out in the first half of 2025. Let's see.
We are on the brink of a new year, and with a new year comes new games. Hi, folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, the top 10 new games of the first half of 2025. At number 10 is Sid Meier's Civilization 7, the latest 4X extravaganza from.
And let me know, like, thumbs up, thumbs down, what y'all think. Like, should we be playing these? Because y'all got to remember,
they've added quite a few interesting things.
If we're going to be streaming these games, then that means it takes a substantial amount of investment, learning the game, playing the game.
Crisis points where you have to decide what elements that you.
Civilization 7.
Age as you move into the next. I do think that's a pretty cool sounding idea. It also is going to allow you to do some weird alternate history stuff. An example I have seen in the leaders in civilization swapping, like
it's strictly
Benjamin
PV.
Franklin of revolutionary United States fame, building the Great Wall of China. At the heart of it, though, it's still Civilization. If you like previous games, I'm sure you're not going to.
Has anyone played Civilization?
Out in the cold with what's going on here. But these are some interesting ways of mixing up the formula that I think honestly sound good.
Has anyone played Civilization or not?
See, obviously, great ideas can be executed well, and bad ideas can turn out better than you expect. So we'll have to wait for the pudding to see if the proof.
I'm not really.
Civilization 7 is coming to PC, and when I say PC, I mean Windows.
I'm not really sold on it. Not gonna lie.
To the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and Nintendo Switch as well, all on February 11th. At number 9 is Assetto Corsa Evo. You might be aware of the beloved racing simulator. It's a franchise that's been going on a while. This is the open world one. The map they've created for this one is supposedly over 600 square miles. It takes place in Nürburgring. It's real world terrain, supposedly. I don't know if it's 600 square miles of Nürburgring that are specifically recreated or if it's areas that have been combined into a map. I don't know that. I do know that the developers have a proprietary engine that they have been working on. This game's going to have a day-night cycle, dynamic weather, and apparently advanced vehicle physics. Now, as you know, vehicle physics are kind of lackluster.
I might skip this. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not a game. I'm not a like.
So I'm interested to see exactly what.
I'm not a
vehicle physics. This one
driving game.
At number 8 is the first Berserker Kazan, a action RPG developed by Neepel.
This is actually in my Steam Steam wish list.
Though they're not going to make me. It's published by Nexon though. It's a
Nexon game.
Hardcore action RPG, and it's set in the Dungeon Fighter Online universe. Dungeon Fighter Online has been going since 2005, although we in the West didn't get it till 2015, 10 years in. This is a single-player game. It is a prequel set 800 years before.
Yeah, this one looked. I saw this during the Game Awards.
The first Berserker, of course, Kazan. It's kind of a cool idea, and if it turns out to be, I would guess this will become a franchise pretty quickly. On account, Dungeon Fighter Online's been going for nearly 20 years at this point, has a built-in audience.
I think it's going to be fun. So this is definitely already on the list, so we don't even have to vote on this one.
I have played Dungeon Fighter Online. I don't ongoingly play Dungeon Fighter Online, but I'm familiar enough that this definitely piques my interest, and also the footage looks pretty sweet. The first Berserker Kazan is coming to.
You know what it gives? It gives like Nexon's version of like Elden Ring-ish Souls.
However, if you want to play it earlier and without paying any money, a demo is coming out on January 16th, and all the save data is transferable to the full game.
Ooh.
I love that companies are doing this, to be frank.
The demo on the January 16th? Are we on that? Yes.
I am supportive of it. Like demo culture.
Yeah, it's Nexon makes this game.
For a very long time there, and it
really Poppy, yeah, TFD. So I wonder if my being a part of the creator program will transition to this game too.
That's obviously great.
I'm interested.
Pretty excited about this one. First Berserker Kazan looks pretty cool. Moving on to number 7.
So that's a thumbs up. We're
the
definitely gonna go with that one.
installment in the co-op first-person shooter series. This one actually takes a pretty big jump.
Did my guy just have ninja, like samurai swords?
Near future. This one jumps to 2091. And the reason for that is to plop you into a more dystopian, crazier world where Horzine is more powerful and the Zeds are much more advanced. I think from a gameplay perspective, it's probably a good idea because it gives them a lot of excuses to kind of go full maximalist in everything. It's a bit of a new direction, although it doesn't look supremely different from Killing Floor 1 and 2. They're touting new enemy AI in this game, which I think is good. I just love that we've gone back to talking about how good enemy AI is. Now, it's probably a result of all the AI hype, but if that gives us good NPCs/enemy AI in games, I'm all for it. I don't care.
How are we feeling about this? I'm not gonna lie. I looked away because it's like it's not initially drawing me in. What y'all think? What do y'all think?
Platforms. Killing Floor 3 is
It's not giving. It's not like making me really excited.
All of the platforms.
You'll probably play this too.
So PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. It doesn't have an exact date, but Killing Floor 3 is going to land in March. I'm pretty excited.
All right, so this is coming out around March.
Looks like a big upgrade, and who wouldn't want that?
I never played
At number 6
Killing
is
Floor
Kingdom
1 or
Come
2 either.
Deliverance 2.
Chris, did you play the other two?
The original game has gotten a lot of praise, acclaim for being a very immersive and realistic game. It doesn't look like they're switching directions.
Kingdom Come
Like
Deliverance
being,
2.
more leaning into that commitment to realism. And I particularly like that they're doing that in the combat mechanics, as opposed to just being like, well, it's more unforgiving and that's more realistic. They're talking about the swordplay being much more fluid. They're talking about refining the archery system. And as a byproduct, they might be a little less forgiving. But the idea is to make them more realistic as opposed to just harder. I don't know. Some developers
What up, Lo-Fi?
have this weird belief that harder equals more realistic, and that's definitely not true. We'll see if it ends up being harder. I don't know. This one's actually got 2 distinct maps. So
We're just mapping out what games we're going to be playing in 2025.
because both maps are apparently
2024 was a good year for us, y'all.
originals.
Hey, shout out to everybody.
In a lot of ways,
Shout out to all of y'all.
really
2024
seems like
was a good year.
A large upgrade from the first game. And if you enjoyed the first game, I'm sure it's going to be worth playing when it comes to PS5, Xbox.
So we're looking at some of the games that are coming up. So far, we have Borderlands 4, but I'm hearing that I got to do a lot of
single-player survival action game by
rework and playing all the other ones in order to really benefit from Borderlands 4. But it's on the list. And we have Berserker,
Things went
the first
awry
Berserker.
following the 1957 wind-scale nuclear disaster, a real event, but also the point of divergence for the alternate history of the game. It's 5 years later. You're a lone survivor, and you're in a quarantine zone. That setup might give you Stalker vibes, but it's a little more oriented towards the sort of crafting and survival elements. It's not like a sandbox per se. It's a little more narrative driven, at least from the looks. I could be wrong.
Okay.
The combat looks fairly even-handed between melee and range.
So
And looks nothing like Stalker. Like I said, the setup's kind of similar sounding, except for in Britain. But the game doesn't look particularly similar. Atomfall is going to land on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, PC, and Xbox Game Pass on March 27th. Moving on to number 4.
isn't that like all
Assassin's Creed
consoles?
Shadows,
Like, why don't they just
the
say?
14th
Oh, I guess not
major
Switch.
installment of the
Hey, Assassin's Creed
let's
Shadows?
Be clear, there are some that are better than
Hey,
others.
Assassin's
This
Creed
game is
Shadows?
stirring
Are
up
we excited for this?
controversy, but if you look into what they're actually trying to do with it, I'm interested in the outcome more than the
I
spectacle.
love the Assassin's
Obviously,
Creed
it could
games,
be
but not all of them. I'm not gonna lie.
dog shit. We don't know, but Ubisoft has been.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not in love with all of them.
Traditional Assassin's
Some of them they
Creed
do well.
play, which is kind of what I want to see in Assassin's Creed at this point. I like the open world stuff. I made it clear that I think both of the types of Assassin's Creed games are good. I like the old school kind just a little better, but I'm also kind of hesitant to lose the open world stuff completely. And this seems like it's very in line with what I want from an Assassin's Creed. I mean, Ubisoft has kind of painted it like a bridge between old school and new school.
After
Meaning
3, it got overhyped. I liked.
cool.
I'm not gonna lie. I felt like Valhalla was
good
pretty
precursor
decent.
as to what exactly
You know what I realized? I
got
feel like
more
Valhalla.
assassination, more parkour focus. They're saying that
Valhalla started to get like real soulsy.
well, at the same time,
Chris, did you play Valhalla?
big map You got Kyoto Osaka.
Like there was like some hidden boss mechanics and battle mechanics that made it really soulsy. Like you would start like the gameplay itself was easy.
Arguments people are having about it. It has the potential.
Is the Discord busted? Nah, it shouldn't be. You know what? Did you change your Lo-Fi? What's your Discord?
Definitely be playing it.
What's your Discord name?
Shadows is coming out February 14th, Valentine's Day.
I'm gonna play this. I'm not gonna lie.
PS5, Xbox, PC.
Didn't change anything. What's your Discord name?
Said on Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's.
Chris, I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna watch me play that because I'm definitely gonna be playing that.
To us from Obsidian, taking place in the Pillars of Eternity universe. I'll go ahead and say that.
Lo-Fi, let me know what is your Discord name, and I'll check what your permissions are. Because nothing changed on the Discord, but maybe you changed, maybe you accidentally changed what your permissions are. Because I'm seeing everything the same.
And it's also not just a full-on.
When you get a sec, let me shoot me your Discord name so I can pull it up.
How, but Sonic Frontiers actually managed to make it so people say open zone. But I guess it's actually a decent description of what it is. They're not levels, but it's not an open world. An open level doesn't sound right. Level implies a certain amount of linearity.
Open
zone? I don't know why I'm getting hung up on this. Avowed looks great. It's Obsidian doing this type of a game. There's factional stuff that we know is going.
You know what this reminds me? Does anybody remember Forsaken? Did anybody play Forsaken? The game Forsaken?
And again, if you like Skyrim, look at the game. There are things here that will appeal to you. This is a game that I'm pretty excited for, although I'll say it's very easy for me to get confused with certain other games that kind of have this aesthetic, and they all didn't do that great. So I'm really going to be trying to wipe the slate clean as I go into Avowed, because it's done by people who've made this type of game very well in the past, as opposed to a lot of the other games that have kind of looked like this, but they're really just somebody trying to make a game that either cashes in on the aesthetic or ideas of Skyrim. This goes way further than that. Avowed's coming February 18th to Xbox Series and PC, along with...
But now when I play it, I'm going to be thinking about Skyrim now that he said that.
And number 2
it does
is
look like
Split Fiction, a co-op adventure game coming from Hazelight Studios, the creators of It Takes Two, and obviously
Lo-Fi
on the innovations they made with that game. In this one, you take the
okay, never post anything. All right, let me look at it right now.
A science fiction writer and a fantasy writer, and basically it takes them through an adventure that you could probably figure out exactly what it is. Combines both worlds and makes them have to collaborate. I don't know, actually a pretty good idea for an adventure game. Something else that I think is really cool, you have to play it co-op, obviously it's a split-screen game, but they're doing something pretty cool here called the Friends Pass. If you want to play the game with a friend and they don't own the game, you can invite them to join the adventure, and it doesn't matter what platform they've got, it's all cross-platform, and frankly, that's cool as shit. The game's coming out on PS.
Oh yeah, you don't have your, somehow you lost your Ascendant tag.
Number 1 is Monster Hunter.
That's what happened.
I mean, this is going to be a big one. It's kind of hard.
Try it now.
Monster Hunter.
Never post anything. Try it now, Lo-Fi. For some reason, you weren't assigned. You have to be assigned to Ascendance, which is everyone in the server, and then you'll be able to see everything. Try it now. You should have it now.
Big sprawling thing. It does a great job at everything that it does, and then they.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I just checked it, and for some reason that fell off, and that should never fall off.
And it has a slightly more.
Let me check if there's anyone else that has.
And it looks like they're taking these sort of Monster Hunter World base and moving it in the Rise direction. That to me automatically gets.
Wait! What game was this?
Enjoyed Monster Hunter Rise, specifically Rise. It's not that I didn't enjoy World. I actually loved the hell out of it.
Oh, this is Wilds.
It's pretty old at this point.
I was about to say this looks like Wilds.
Rise, to be frank, looks like it's older than Monster Hunter World because it was designed firstly.
You're back, like you never left, Lo-Fi. I got you, and appreciate you for calling that out.
That makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying smart things here or not. We got cross-platform 4-player cooperative multiplayer. So I mean, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Buddies. And it will be landing on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC February 28th. I do have a quick bonus game for you. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta is allegedly coming out the first half of 2025. If you're unaware, it's a full remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, including all of the original voice cast. Allegedly,
this looks good.
A couple of new lines from a few people, but it's not like a re-recording.
I haven't played Metal Gear Solid since like the PlayStation 2.
And obviously,
not gonna lie,
better looking game. uses Unreal Engine 5, but allegedly they're doing everything possible to maintain the gameplay, at least with some modern quality of life conveniences. I'm personally super excited for when it lands on PS5, Xbox Series, and Windows, hopefully first half. I don't want to wait that long for it. It looks great. I do have hopes that this does well and they decide, maybe all of the Metal Gear Solids deserve this treatment. Hell, contract Kojima Productions to finish up Metal Gear Solid 5 when you redo that one too, maybe. Yeah? Get David Hayter as the voice again, you know, that type of thing. Anything is possible when it
Okay,
could
so
probably make a lot of money, right?
the top one was
that's all I got
Monster
for
Hunter
you today.
Wilds.
Leave us a comment.
All right, so from this list, Berserker, I think what we'll be playing for sure, not Civilization, not that racing game. The first Berserker, that's already on my list. Atomfall, probably. Assassin's Creed, for sure. Avowed, probably. And then Monster Hunter Wilds. So that's already what, 5 games? That's 5 games for 2025. And that's just the first half of 2025. Monster Hunter Wilds was already on our list. So this is the biggest games coming in 2025 from IGN. But let's see, we're going to skip some of these early ones. Because I'm assuming some of these are going to overlap. So
on February 14th, Assassin's Creed Shadows sends Ubisoft's flagship open world series into the much requested
this is February 14th.
If you can't decide if you'd rather be a ninja or a samurai, great news, because this one lets you do both thanks to its dual protagonists. That's going to be on current gen. And
we should have watched this one.
If you're feeling lonesome on Valentine's Day, there's also Date Everything, a sandbox dating simulator where you may in fact...
Hey, should we play a dating simulator?
There's 100 other anthropomorphized and animate objects with which you can become romantically involved, from the windows to the walls, or at the very least,
That's
floor.
Be fun.
And they're all fully voice acted. That's on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. On February 18th, Obsidian's Avowed hits Xbox Series.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. February is gonna be a big month.
Universe is the studio's isometric pillar.
With this one, this video is showing us when they're coming out. February is gonna be a huge month.
Perspective and real-time.
2 of the ones that we listed already.
But don't expect an epic time sink. The devs have said it's more comparable to the Outer Worlds, which is great news for anybody who sucks at finishing games.
I live in the real world, my man, with bills and responsibilities.
Speaking of time sinks, if you think it's time to sink some ships and terrorize the high seas, well, you're in luck, because Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is... Well, I feel like the title really kind of covers its bases there.
Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii?
Foil and frenemy to its usual protagonist taking the wheel somewhat literally after he gets amnesia on a beach and decides to explore a new career as a pirate. Classic Majima. That's on the Xboxes, PlayStations, and PC February 21st. Pirate Yakuza actually moved its release date up a week to get the hell out of the way of one of the biggest games of the year, Monster Hunter Wilds, which comes to Xbox Series, PS5, and PC on February 28th. Again, it's one of those series that requires little introduction, especially after how many new players...
How many people are going to be playing this?
...world last gen. With Wilds, Capcom is aiming to refine and improve the core experience in a way that satisfies...
How many people are excited about this one?
...alike, but also introduce new features that take advantage...
I'm really excited about this one, I'm not
gonna
lie.
...things interesting. Oh yeah, and it also needs to be accessible enough to attract more new players. So if you're wondering why this game has taken so long, that might have something to do with it. On March 6th, it's time to buddy up for another co-op adventure from Hazelight, the studio behind It Takes Two and A Way Out. This time it's split fiction, which sees sci-fi and fantasy authors getting stuck in virtual reality and undergoing a bunch of bizarre adventures together, including, but not limited to, getting turned into pigs.
You're still stuck on Destiny?
Hot dogs and then cooked on the grill. And yes, the hot dogs are playable.
Hot diggity dog.
Best of all, buy one copy lets 2 people play online together. That's on PC and current gen. On March 25th, you can experience the upper middle class corner of Upper Middle Earth with Tales of the Shire, a cozy life sim that focuses entirely on ordinary hobbit life. You know, for regular hobbits who just like to garden and smoke pipes and drink brandy and have petty rivalries over trivial neighborhood bullshit and probably post mean things on Nextdoor, not, you know, going on long hikes to throw jewelry into a volcano. It sounds lovely. Be a shame if this Shire were to be, I don't know, ruthlessly scoured by ruffians in the thrall of Saruman, perhaps?
There's mud trotting the carpet. They pillaged the...
This is interesting. I'm not going to play it, but I'd probably watch somebody play this.
Well, anyway, that's on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. If
But
you
I'm not
want
gonna play it.
explore a version of the Shire-like pastoral English countryside that's been doused in radioactive particles, there's Atomfall. Hopefully you've put this together, but it's taking some cues from Fallout. This one also leans a bit more into survival than role-playing though, so I think the Stalker influence is also pretty strong. Plus, it's also showing an alternate future in which a major real-world nuclear disaster went a whole lot worse. That's coming to everything but Switch on the 27th of March. To me, DNF has always been short for Did Not Finish or Duke Nukem Forever, which they probably shouldn't have finished, but to a few million other people, it is shorthand for Dungeon and Fighter, the multimedia universe that stems from the 2005 South Korean multiplayer beat-em-up that was released stateside as Dungeon Fighter Online. In any case, that universe gets a little bit bigger with the single-player action RPG, The First Berserker Kazan, which
Yo, are y'all excited about this one? I'm excited about this
PC
one.
on the 27th as well. On March 28th, the potential Sims killer Inzoi hits PC. This is another South Korean joint, which is hands down one
That's
of the
March.
prettiest video games I've ever seen. If this one delivers, I could very easily see it being one of the biggest games of the year. Something tells me that after 11 years, 12 game packs, and 17 expansions for The Sims 4, Sims fans might be in the market for something new and different. And there are a lot of Sims fans out there, so I guess they should probably check this one out. That's on PC for now with current gen.
This looks really good for a
On
sim.
April 24th, Fatal Fury gets its first new game this century with City of the Wolves. And while Terry Bogard and Mai Shiranui and company have kept busy with appearances in other fighting games like King of Fighters,
James is probably gonna like this. I don't know if James is watching on the stream right now, but James, you probably like
this.
this.
Is the first mainline Fatal Fury since 1999's Mark of the Wolves, so hopefully it's worth the wait.
James loves fighter games.
PlayStation's Xbox Series and PC. Now, as of writing the script for this video, those are all the major games that currently have release dates, though there's plenty more that we're expecting in 2025. By April, we will almost definitely know when Nintendo's next console will be released, but as of right now, we don't even know what it's officially called. Nintendo has announced that details will be revealed sometime before
Nintendo Switch 2?
based on some leaked
I hope it's not another
third-party
Switch,
accessories.
y'all.
There's some speculation that it's targeting a summer release window.
Y'all think Nintendo is gonna drop a
The
full
original
console,
Switch
or is it gonna be like more of a
and on
handheld
sale
again?
The following March,
What y'all
the
think?
Organic buzz generated by gamers and early adopters made it a must-have item by the time the holidays rolled around. Whatever this new thing
I hope
is
it's a
called,
full
it'll launch
console.
with
I mean,
at
but
least
then
a
they're
few
like,
games.
it's gotta
The
compete,
original
though.
Switch had about 10 games available day one, which
I
sounds
think
like
they did a good
one
job with the
of them
Switch because it
Breath
kind
the
of
Wild, which kept us busy
captured
just
an
fine.
entire
Another dozen
genre
or so over the 3-month launch window following its release. Now, bear in mind,
of gaming
a lot of people
consoles.
were skeptical of the Switch at the time.
You think it's gonna be oh, you know it's gonna be handheld, or you think it's gonna be
by the
handheld?
Wii U. The Wii had been such a hit that there was initially
Yeah, I was about to say they can't really. I don't know,
Wii's
competing,
launch lineup was almost
jumping in to
3
try to
times the
compete
size
with the
it was out
PlayStation
Switch
5
day.
Pro.
Considering that the Switch has outsold the original Wii by almost 50 million units at this point, and it's currently the 3rd best-selling console of all time, I think it's safe to assume that a lot of publishers will want to get it on the ground floor of whatever's next. So I have a hunch there's going to be a
I didn't know that.
games day one.
It's one of the.
Right? You could be right. You're so right!
There are a couple bigger Nintendo
Hey,
games we are
bonus
expecting to
points.
drop
What
this
anime
year.
was that?
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was basically just a logo for the better part of a decade, and presumably it'll actually be a video game at some point in the near future, which is very exciting for Metroid fans. That's coming to Switch, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was also one of the big flagship launch titles for the new
Kids,
console
yeah.
as well. And even if it's not, the new hardware is supposedly backwards compatible, so I'm sure plenty of people will be playing it on there either way.
Yeah, you know what? My nephew and my son, they love the Switch. Even when like I'm like, yo, y'all can play on the PlayStation 5, you know,
Pokemon
and they
Legends
still play on the
Arceus took
Switch.
some big swings, but it also made the Switch show its age in some areas. So hopefully this one can benefit from some more powerful hardware as well, or at the
Pokemon
very
Legends.
least improve on the groundwork laid by Arceus. A rising tide raises all ships, and a new Nintendo console will
Adults
definitely
buy it
help
for
keep
kids,
the
yeah.
games industry afloat a bit, but the other big 2025 release that's sure to make some waves is Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't need to tell you how much excitement there is for this.
GTA 6?
GTA 5 is the
Hey, y'all wanna see me play
best-selling
GTA
game of
6?
all time. And after a 12-year, 3-console generation,
Y'all wanna see me play
people
GTA 6? Be
really
honest.
Want to see what Rockstar?
Hey, let's be
I'm telling you
honest.
right now, it's probably going to be the best-selling game.
Was she working on top of the car while it was moving?
Best-selling game of 2025,
Bro.
assuming it comes out in 2025. It's worth noting that practically every major Rockstar release, GTA or otherwise, has been hit by a delay or 2 or 3 or sometimes even more than that. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's several months.
No one
sometimes
knows when
it's
it's
even the
dropping.
next year. So fingers crossed we get GTA 6 on time, but also, you know, expect disappointment and you won't ever be disappointed.
It's supposed to be
However long it takes, I'm
2025,
sure
but
it'll
we'll
worth the
see.
wait. This game looks fucking awesome.
It does look cool though.
For the huge big pile of games that we are expecting at some point in 2025, but which don't have specific release dates quite yet. It makes it really hard to figure out what order to put them in, but also chances are by the time you're hearing me list these all off, a few of them will have been given release dates or maybe even gotten delayed a year. So just keep in mind that all of this is subject to change in some way, and please don't be mad at me for things I do in this video or just otherwise. Just be kind.
I want you to be nice.
Okay.
Hideo Kojima fans are eating good in 2025, or at the very least, eating snakes.
Oh yeah,
Metal Gear Solid
we already
Delta,
saw
a
this
full
one.
modern remake of the fan favorite third entry in the tactical espionage action series will be coming to current gen consoles and PC. And while Hideo Kojima has had no direct involvement with it, aside from, directing the original, it seems like a lot of care is being taken on Konami's part to not totally f it up. This showed up in a PlayStation promo that dropped last January, showcasing big, huge 2024 PlayStation releases, and a November 17th release date was briefly leaked by GameStop alongside the collector's edition, but was apparently inaccurate. So it seems like we'll be getting this sooner than later, but you never know. That'll be on PS5 plus Xbox Series and PC. Meanwhile, Kojima's next big thing is Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, which will exclusively drop Anchor on PS5 at some point in 2025, but will presumably wash up on PC, Xbox, and maybe even Mac and iOS later on if the first game's rollout is anything to go on. The other big PS5 exclusive we know about right now that's coming out this year is Ghost of Yotei, Sucker
Now this one's on my
Open
list.
World samurai game. While many games target,
I'm obsessed with
Sony has a
samurai
tendency to
games.
drop major first-party games earlier in the year. For instance, Ghost of Tsushima,
Destiny 3
release, and The Last of Us Part 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
I don't think they're doing Destiny 3,
God
Slim.
of War 2018 was an April game, but then again, God of War Ragnarok came out in November. So
I mean, if they do, I'm gonna be back on it.
we
But
get the samurai
I don't
game
think they're
in
doing it.
2025 during one of the months that falls between 2024 and 2026, so we can play it on the PlayStations, which is what you do with the video game. Sony's been playing stuff annoyingly close to the chest lately, but we have a better idea of what Xbox has in the works. There's Fable, which is dusting off the beloved fantasy RPG series from a few console generations back, but this time Playground Games has been given the keys and is taking the wheel, if you'll pardon the car expression.
I'll allow it.
Playground, of course, is the studio behind the fourth.
Yeah, because they're investing into that mobile, right? What is it? Destiny Rise? Is it called Destiny Rise, Slim? What was it called
I
again?
don't historically give a shit.
They're really doing a lot of
Cars
investing in
I really
that.
drive in real life, but somehow I sunk 120 hours into Forza Horizon 5. So if they can make me enjoy something I don't care about that much, I am dying to see what they do with an.
I highly doubt that
game
we'll get a
with
Destiny 3
short
anytime
jokes
soon.
And large frogs, because all that stuff is stuff I'm interested in. Anyway, if you're interested in that too, that'll be on Xbox Series and PC at some point. Another game that probably involves some other large swamp creatures and magic is South of Midnight, which is a Southern Gothic fantasy action adventure from the studio behind We Happy Few that's hitting PC and Xbox Series as well. Hey, you know what game looks really fucking awesome? Doom, The Dark Ages. I want to specifically call out one gun in particular. It's the one that grinds up skulls and shoots them at stuff because that is so over the top and metal.
Yo,
It's just
what?
hilarious. There's also a shield with saw blades on it, which
I like
is a safety
it.
hazard, and you can ride a dragon because why not? And oh yeah, Doom Guy has a little fur cape, which it works better than I was expecting. I love what they're doing over there. Each new iteration of Doom feels like a more evolved form of the shit that I was angrily scribbling in the margins of my math homework back in 5th grade. So keep doing what you're doing, id. I appreciate you.
I like it.
Obviously, Doom The Dark Ages is going to be on PC and also Xbox Series, and it's also going to be on PS5 as well. Speaking of Xbox published games coming to PS5, you can expect Indiana Jones and the Great Circle to make its way to the console with a circle button sometime in the first half of the year. And speaking of Xbox published games based on Disney-owned intellectual properties, there's also a chance we'll see Arcane's Blade game at some point in 2025, though that is a pretty big if. Game
Blade?
development is arguably an even slower and more difficult pursuit than ice skating uphill, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Daywalker didn't see the light of day until 2026. But hey, on the bright side, that's not the only Marvel game in the works. There's also Marvel 1943, The Rise of Hydra, which is slated for 2025. This is from Skydance New Media, the studio being run by Amy Hennig, who you may know for her work on Uncharted, Legacy of Kain, or Michael Chaos in the Windy City. This game will see Captain America teaming up with Black Panther during World War II, specifically Azuri, who is the grandfather of T'Challa. Also, this isn't to be confused with the other Black Panther game that's being developed by Cliffhanger Games, which seems like it is probably even further away. A bunch of long-awaited sequels.
That looks
or otherwise
solid.
Installments and established series are dropping in 2025. Borderlands 4 is the first numbered entry.
Wait till
into
Diddy's
the
Revenge
series
drops.
since
Bro,
2019,
stop.
and hopefully, a new game.
Why did I read that out loud?
Interest in the movie adaptation did. That's on new gen and PC. If you prefer grind racing,
Is that a real game though?
Skate 4 is
No,
finally
I'm not
expected
taking
to
it
enter
serious.
early
I'm not
access
taking that
this year,
serious.
Though they actually dropped
Is
the
it?
number off
Is that a real game?
entirely and put it all in lowercase for some reason. Before you get too excited, it's worth noting
I
this
hope
is going
that's
to
not
be
a real game.
free-to-play live service title published by EA, so adjust your expectations accordingly.
I see what what you did there.
Combs versus
Meanwhile,
Cosby.
Taxi is getting a similar treatment, and Sega's
The Combs versus Cosby game.
Classic is being reinvented as an open-world MMO, and there have been some rumors that it's going to drop in 2025, but you never know. At least one of these games better have The Offspring on the soundtrack. If you like sand, well, get excited, I guess. Because
50 Cent would like it.
Sandbox is on the way. There's
I feel like 50 Cent would invest in that.
based in Frank Herbert's spicy sci-fi universe, or rather on the titular planet of Arrakis, where all the sand and the spice is. There's also Crimson Desert, the single-player RPG set in the universe of Black
Dune is
Desert
coming out with a
Online.
game?
Though based on all the trees and greenery, Crimson Desert doesn't actually appear to be taking place in a desert.
Combs versus Cosby is crazy work.
You're talking to. One game that's
Battle
the
of the-
exact opposite of a desert. Is
Battle of the
Subnautica
Demon
2, which will
Lords.
surface in
Combs
early
versus
access at
Cosby.
some point this year. It'll have been over a decade since the first game entered early access, and it's attracted its fair share of admirers since then, so hopefully the sequel floats their boat, or does
All right.
the nautical thing that applies here. I don't know. It's submarines, really. Is that even a boat? It's a U-boat. Is it a U-boat or a me-boat? Sorry, I'll stop.
I like the cut of your jib. What's a jib?
If you prefer stacking the deck to swabbing it, hey, there it is. There's also Slay the Spire 2, the follow-up to the hit roguelike deck builder that debuted way back in 2017.
I'm good off of this one.
If you'd rather slay some big scary monsters and whatnot, there's also Hell Is Us, which looks like a Souls-like, but the jury's out on whether or not it actually is. What it is a third-person game with melee combat and exploration that probably will be a good diversion for Soulsborne fans waiting around for whatever arcane fuckery FromSoft is cooking up. Hey, would you believe that I started writing this script before the Game Awards had aired? Because as it just so happens, the arcane fuckery that FromSoft has been cooking up is Elden Ring Night Reign, a standalone co-op survival game due out relatively soon. This is basically swapping the plotting grind of the main game for a more streamlined dash to gather runes and gear up on a remixed and shuffled map of the lands between that gets even freakier when the sun goes down, and there's also a rapidly shrinking circle of acid rain.
Should we play this?
Or a ring.
I have never played Elden
if you
Ring.
will. So it's kind of like Fortnite in a weird way, but it's also clearly something else entirely. As much as I love how FromSoft has gradually refined that core Soulsborne experience, this feels like a direct response to all the creative ways that players have been approaching their games. You know, like doing speed runs with DDR mats, or beating the game without jumping or leveling up, or whatever, or making mods where every enemy has been replaced by Malenia and stuff like that. I'm not sure if it's something I actually want to play, but I'm dying to see what other people do with it. I think streamers are going to have a field day, and I think it's going to get real weird. That's coming to all the PlayStations, Xboxes, and PC. BioShock fans have been waiting for a new installment even longer than GTA fans, and while it might not be an official entry in the series, Judas is very clearly a spiritual successor, and it's being overseen by Ken Levine, who first took us to Rapture and Columbia. We'll supposedly be seeing that in 2025 at some point, and of course there's also the possibility that 2K unveils an official BioShock as well, which we've been hearing rumors about for a cool minute now. Hey, speaking of 2K and GTA, if you think Rockstar's open world crime epic has too much twerking and TikTok and stuff like that, you'd rather your crime was a little more old-fashioned and organized, there's also Mafia: The Old Country, and this looks like it's expanding the Olive Garden's core philosophy of when you're here, you're family, and a big turn-of-the-century Sicilian sandbox. Look for that on new gen and PC sometime this summer. Capiche?
Well, do you understand?
Everything except capiche.
If you enjoy silly first-person RPGs in space with real-time combat and an Arabic numeral 2 in the title, The Outer Worlds 2 is exactly that. That's coming to Xbox Series and PC. If you like
I might play this.
isometric RPGs in fantasy realms with turn-based combat that faithfully recreates D&D's 5th edition rule set, and a Roman numeral 2 in the title, Solasta 2 is also exactly that. That's coming to PC and probably consoles at a later date. If you thought No Man's Sky had too much sky and not enough mans, well, Hello Games has been hard at work on their next ridiculously ambitious project, Light No Fire. This swaps the deep space interplanetary sci-fi exploration for a fantasy realm that you can wander around in with some friends. Also, this fantasy realm just so happens to be on a planet that you can explore that is literally the size of Earth, like 1-to-1, which, I don't know if that's clear, is a very large place. If you don't believe me, go play Flight Simulator, or just go outside, whichever. Light No Fire is currently only listed to PC, but it'll presumably come to other stuff after that. Oh, and hey, real quick, if this game doesn't have everything you hope it does at launch, maybe just give it a minute. If No Man's Sky has proven anything, it's that Hello Games will probably deliver in time. So if this game doesn't have enough dragons or whatever, don't send them death threats. Don't send anybody death threats. Just don't do that, all right?
Is that a threat?
If you're light on zombie parkour games and dying for a new one, well, great news and bad wordplay, because Dying Light: The Beast is a standalone adventure set in Techland's Undead universe, and that's slated for a 2025 release as well. If dying stuff makes you sad for a game with a whole
I'm not a zombie
Immortals,
person.
you're also in luck. Is 33 Immortals enough? If Three's Company, 33 co-op players is probably a crowd, but that's what's going on in this chaotic multiplayer roguelike from the studio behind Spiritfarer and Jotun that is on Xbox and PC at some point. You might have noticed that we haven't really covered any remasters or re-releases, which was deliberate because there's a lot of those, and also they're arguably not exactly new games, but we are making one exception for Lunar Remastered Collection, which dusts off and polishes up Lunar Silver Star Story Complete and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue, which originally released on the Sega Saturn almost 30 years ago.
I want to see when they're going to remaster Final Fantasy X.
Game of Amanda
I mean, they're not remaster, when they're going to remake.
And when you produce these videos,
You know what I'm excited for that they haven't announced yet is KOTOR. When are we getting KOTOR
this year? I'm happy for
remake?
Amanda. It's very nice when your favorite game gets remastered and re-released. It'd be fucking nice if Sony did that for Bloodborne. There are a handful of games that may come out someday, but which have been getting kicked down the road so many times it's a sort of a boy who cried wolf situation. In one case, somewhat literally, with Telltale's The Wolf Among Us 2, that was announced back in 2019, and last we heard, it would come out in 2024, but it didn't. So maybe it'll come out in 2025, or maybe it won't ever come out at all. I don't know. Meanwhile, Ark 2 was revealed in 2020, and initially that had a 20.
Is that Vin Diesel?
And it obviously didn't hit that. Will it come out this year? Who knows? And finally, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 was originally supposed to be out in early 2020. I did an interview about that game at E3 2019, and that feels like a lifetime ago. Will that come out this year? I have no idea. Now, speaking of lifetimes, we're not getting any younger, so I'm gonna call it. And yet again, let me emphasize that these are by no means all of the games coming out in 2025, and I guarantee you at least one of the games I mentioned will not come out in 2025, because that just seems to be how things go. If you really want to stay up to date on what's coming out, go check out IGN Playlist. It's kind of like Letterboxd.
Okay, so we got a couple of ones. Here's the one that we're excited for. Here's another one. This is more. We've viewed this a couple times, but this is Fate Trigger. So Fate Trigger is a open world, not open world. It is a battle royale, huge, massive battle royale, using all waifus. So every character has unique abilities similar to Apex, and all of the characters are waifus with jiggle mechanics enabled at launch. Yeah. So we will be playing this in the alpha test early 2025, and hopefully it actually launches in 2025, later 2025. So, but this is a really exciting one.
Lights off. Oh, I do apologize.
I'm actually really excited about this.
Time to walk the clouds.
Bad timing on that.
One with the waves. I can feel the rhythm of your heart.
I know some people are excited for different reasons.
Burn to ashes.
Some people are excited about this game for different reasons. So if you're into anime, you're gonna really enjoy this one. If you're into first-person shooters, third-person shooters, and anime, then you're gonna absolutely love this game. Because one of the things is that when you're moving around, you're in third person, but then when you aim down sights, you instantly go into first person. So you can benefit from the first person and from being able to actually see your character moving around, because they didn't put jiggle mechanics in the game for no reason. So they don't want to waste it. So that's that one. Monster Hunter Wilds. We've seen this a couple times, but
Since ages long forgotten, one word has defined our very existence. Balance. From the humble feline to the ferocious tigrex, every living being across this vast land plays its part in the great cycle, including us. Though our people dwell in
this is not the right one.
we are also of this land.
I was about to say, this feels real old. Where is it? Let's pick the right one. Where's the trailer? What other game should we be looking at, y'all? We saw Borderlands 4. What other game should we be looking at for 2025 streaming? What are your thoughts? What are we thinking, y'all? For 2025, we got a whole year. We got 365 days. We got a lot of games coming out. We can't possibly stream them all. At least not well. So, we need to make decisions. We need to make decisions. We played this one. Let me go back. We played this one. Not Fate Trigger. We played Riftstorm. I believe that's what it was called. We played trailer. We played this game as well at some point. There's like so many games, and we really need to like bring it down. This was fun. I remember playing this one. Yeah, so thank you for that. Yeah, no, I do remember this one. There's like a platformer, a co-op platformer. And I think this is coming out in 2025 as well. I think this is also coming out in 2025, which will be exciting. Which would be exciting. Let's look at all the first-person shooters, actually. Let's see all of the first-person shooters that are coming out in 2025. The top 17 insane graphics first-person shooters for 2025.
We're set in 30 seconds.
Is it telling us what game it is? Oh, this is Bellum. It's called Bellum.
Net call. Slate on target. Power 0, 0. Over.
Hey, check the back. Yeah, I got it.
This is 1-6. Conditions set. Roger 1-6. You're a go to execute assault. 1-6-1-3. Eagles moving to breach.
Hmm.
1-3. This is 1-8. ISR's got a shooter pushing the breach. 1-3 Alpha. We have him. Crash right side. Crash right side. 2 look alive. We got a 6. Push the door on 6.
In this video, we'll discuss the current state of the project, highlight key features, and most excitingly...
No, I don't want to do that. What's this one? This is called Invariant.
Very big, huh? If they call you.
So, welcome to...
Honestly, looking at all these games, it makes it actually even harder to decide what we're going to be playing in 2025. I'm actually not sure.
Ah, you seek the old notes. What a fool you are.
Like fowl to feed.
What is this?
Your kind seeks death.
Something is coming. Something greater.
The developer behind Halo,
before you.
Destiny, Battlefield, Doom. What is this?
I saw you fall like lightning from heaven. The way forth is long and dark. You must be most brave.
Have y'all seen this before?
10,000.
Am I late? What's going on with this?
Then 20,000 knees shall kneel. The time is nigh.
This looks really good.
What wilt thou do? The axe.
It looks like a Silent Hill boss.
Free.
Like Destiny meets Silent Hill. Meets Skyrim.
Become your fetish. Hardship your home. The hero of old. The man of renown.
What is this?
You to change it all.
This is making the list.
Remember me with favor for all I have done.
Tell the old man to send another flock.
Covenant.
Falcon 1 to Opera. We got
That's on the list. Covenant.
area is clear.
Have y'all heard of that game? Covenant?
Push you beyond your limits, and there's a reason for that. Put you under relentless pressure. Coal crushed into a diamond. Because when you're out there, we can't afford anything less. You aren't ready to make it. You don't belong here.
Target at 12 o'clock, Section 4A. Estimating 1,300 yards.
Visual.
Shooter ready?
Ready.
Dial in 5 minutes right for windage.
Sniper. A sniper game.
Remember your fundamentals. Breathe, focus, squeeze. Always take the shot at the bottom of your exhale to be as precise as possible. You are at one with the gun, a weapon. Nothing else matters except the shot.
Opera House, Phantom 1 here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Visual on target. Do you copy?
Solid copy, Phantom. You are clear to engage.
Target is not clear. I repeat, not clear. Over.
Phantom 1, report status. Take the shot at all costs.
Take the shot.
Perfection is your new normal.
Take the shot.
Of shots under intense pressure. You ready for this?
Skadoosh.
Fundamentals. Success at all costs.
Center mass. Streets of Ramadi.
Sniper, and you begin by passing through sniper school and getting your qual.
So it's a sniper. It's a whole sniper game. And what's this? This is ill. This is ill. What is going on? Is this like a Resident Evil type game? Because I don't like it. No, no, thank you. No, thank you.
You there, Mike? I made my way in. Found some sort of administrative room. It's a total mess here.
Shit. They were really rushing out of there, weren't they? All right. Head to the dome. It might be your only way down.
Yeah, this is. Oh. I don't like this game.
Imagine yourself being in a cyberpunk open world NPCs. It's not a map.
No, I don't want your.
By your life, all barriers.
I don't want the talking. Yeah. Black Hawk Down. Yeah. Let me see what other options they got here. Dying Light. Dying there. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Wait a minute. Far Cry 7?
Lisker. Its next mainline.
No, let's look this up. Far Cry 7? You're crazy. Far Cry 7? Has anybody played the Far Cry series? Far Cry 7. Where's the trailer? Trailer. Let's look for trailer. I'm in love with the Far Cry series. Not gonna lie. Somebody said this is Call of Duty plus Far Cry plus Forza. They call it Call Cry 5. Yo, I'm done. But I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking that when I was watching this then. I'm not sure what they're going for with this. What is this? Is this actually Far Cry? This seems yeah, I take it back. Well, the thing is, like, I legit was saying that I liked and enjoyed the the Far Cry series, but that one seems pretty far off. That one seems pretty far off. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But here's what we have. We have Borderlands 4, Monster Hunter Wilds, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Elden Ring, and this is all in early 2025, by the way. So we have a lot of things. Obviously, we have TFD still, right? TFD is actually gonna get the new update soon. Let's see what the First Descendant update is. Let's do First Descendant January update. Let's see. What's the January update? Because obviously we still have First Descendant, right? No, let's see. Do we have anything? Any update videos? Because I don't want to rewatch the let's see if they have anything on Ines. No. They're keeping everything pretty close to the chest on this, which makes it a little tough. They're doing, yeah, they're keeping it pretty close to their chest. But all right. So here's what we'll do. Well, I think we have a good. I think we even without this, we have a solid plan. So what we'll be doing. I mean, obviously, we're going to be doing TFD. We're going into February. We'll have Elden Ring. We'll have the first Berserker. What? Yikes! We're going to be playing a lot of games, y'all. What we'll probably end up doing is like we'll do like a week of one game, a week of another game for some of these games that require. That are like single player games. So like the first Berserker is a single player game. So we'll probably do a week of the first Berserker. So the first Berserker week, Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be a longer, it's going to just be an additional, in addition to the general weeklies. First Descendant, obviously we'll be streaming that. And, there's just so many other things that we got going on here. But I think that's honestly what we're looking at, right? What we're looking at is, let me move this over, see if we got this going. So, move this over. There we go. Welcome. So, 2025, we're going to have, obviously, the first Descendant. We'll be streaming that. Going into early 2025, we're going to have the first Berserker. We're going to have Elden Ring. We're going to have Monster Hunter Wilds. Later in the year, we'll probably have GTA 6, Far Cry 7. Well, that wasn't announced yet, but Far Cry 7 at some point. Doom. And what were the other ones that we had? Fate Trigger. We'll be doing Fate Trigger. And then we'll potentially be mixing in some of those other games. For the single player games, what we'll end up doing is having like a week of trying to clear this in this period of time. So like for Elden Ring, we'll just do like a week of Elden Ring where we're just going to be playing Elden Ring for that week. For First Berserker, it'll be something similar. So, and that's a Nexon game as well. First Berserker is actually a Nexon game, a dungeon online, Dungeon Dweller Online. I think that they mentioned it. So that's also Nexon. So we'll probably still blend into the creator program for that one. So that'll be fun. But I think that's the best approach to 2025 is there's a lot of games. We got a lot of games. We're going to be trying out in between all of those. We'll be probably reached out to by a lot of different developers to try out their games. So we'll be trying those games out. But for the most part, I think that's going to be a solid year, right? Monster Hunter Wilds is going to take up a big portion of it. TFD with all the new updates going into season 3 is going to take up a big portion of it. And then we're going to have a lot of these intermittent breaks, these weekly intermittent breaks for games like the First Berserker, for games like Elden Ring. And I think Avowed was another one that's coming out in early like 2025. So this is going to be a fun kind of mix of content that we're going to be having this year. And I'm really excited for it, for being able to play new games, to explore new communities, build our community a lot larger, and just have a variety of content that we can start to provide for everyone. 2024 was an amazing year. We started streaming. For a recap, in 2024, we started streaming. We finally took that leap. We built our presence on TikTok. We built our presence on Twitch. We built our presence on YouTube. YouTube being the first platform that we have been partnered on. So yes, we are partnered on YouTube. We're working on being partnered on Twitch. If TikTok is not banned in January or in 3 weeks, then we will continue to build out on TikTok. It's just really exciting to have built out this community from the Discord to just everyone that's been supporting on subscriptions, on follows, on memberships, on YouTube, all of the bits, all of the donations, all of the support with the merch. So thank you for all of that, y'all. We have 2025 is going to be a huge year for us. We're going to continue to grow, continue to play different games. We're going to continue to play different types of platformers, whether it's the First Descendant, obviously first person, third person shooters. We're going to be experimenting with different first person games or first player, solo player games, co-op games for people that want to join in on those. Other looter shooters we'll be experiencing, as well as competitive games, right? So what we didn't mention was Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is a game that is very exciting, and we've been playing a lot of that. So we'll continue to play games like that, do reviews of games. So we'll be able to explore so many different options this year. But I'm really excited. And just in general, just wanted to say thank you, man. Thank you for everyone that has been an extreme supporter of the content of me as a creator and my journey as a creator so far. 2024 was our first year, right? And we started in June, so we really had 6 months. We've built everything that we have so far. We've built in 6 months, which is really exciting, but I'm really looking forward to 2025, taking everything that we've learned and really implementing a huge overhaul of content strategy from different platforms, where we stream, what we stream, when we stream, and really just providing a better experience for everyone. Starting with, this stream is our first stream with our new GPU and kind of set up for the quality across our platforms. So that's exciting. And there's just like all of these little small things. But yeah, definitely join the Discord if you haven't already. We're going to be doing a lot of overhauls on that as well. So you'll be able to get updates on different games, on different lives. It's not just going to be TFD. We're going to have a lot of resources for a number of different titles, because we are going to be playing a lot. We are going to be building and meshing our communities with different gaming communities and crossovers. We're going to be doing a lot of collabs, giveaways, all of that fun stuff in 2025. Really excited to get this year started. And thanks for showing up on this first, kind of kickoff, just chatting stream for today, for 2025. Happy New Year for everyone that has not interacted with us yet. We're excited to have you join the community, have you join the streams, and really just have a fun time for 2025. I will see you all on the next one, and don't forget to follow, subscribe, members, all of that stuff. Take it easy, y'all.